Om Shanti. To remain constantly cheerful, be easy natured and tolerant. Go into the depths and attain success. Tolerant children can use the power of their tolerance to make those with harsh sanskars and difficult tasks cool and easy. Those with the virtue of tolerance will be mature and go into the depth of everything. They will never be afraid. They will go into the depths and attain success. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today's day 25. To remain constantly cheerful, be easy natured and tolerant. Today's topic: go into the depths and attain success. So, as we all know that we have our two Didis together here in Peace Village. Jayanti Didi went to Guyana, Trinidad for their 50th anniversary of service, and there were successful programs there. And now she is here with us in Peace Village for Call of the Time. So this is the biggest opportunity we have, that both Didis are here on the special day of Mama. So before we hear from them, actually we do celebrate Mama's Day as Kumari's Days. So generally we do have Kumaris here. We do gather, but right now our Kumaris are on Zoom and they want to just remember Mama and do a little presentation. For double happiness, of course, for Mama and also for these two Didis which are in front of us. So welcome our Kumaris. Our Kumaris, they have dressed up like Mama. If you see them, the way Mama used to sit and the way Mama used to present herself in front of everyone. So, welcome. Shanti, thank you. So now we will listen to Mohini Didi first and then Chanti Didi ji.
Om Shanti. Drama is wonderful. We are on long spiritual journey and we have long companionship. Right? We are companions, we are friends, we are travelers. So we meet each other in different ways at different places. So when Gentleman had to be here, then I was thinking how we began the service in the beginning in USA, starting from New York, Washington. Then we both were together many places. In Caribbean, Jantiben and one other sister, Lataben, she went and 6 weeks they were there. Then myself and Lataben, myself and him Lataben, one was still in Caribbean. We both went there. Such a beautiful relationship after belonging to Baba. In Lokik, yes, we have friends. We are companions in many different tasks. But it's so unique and loving and wonderful, and very elevated to be together again and again. Avyakti Parivar began after Dari Janki's 13th day of Bhog. We were offering Bhog, we finished it. And I was sitting on the same chair where Dari Janki, when she comes to New York, would sit. Then I said, well, Dari used to love chit chat. We should do that too. So about 8, 10 of us, those who were at the house and around, we all will sit. And from there, of course, more joined. And so we started in English because then it was for the whole region. We were able to give facility of Zoom to all the centers in the region. Bhumivan had created relationship with Zoom company, and so we were able to get good price, and we gave to 150, I think, in that time. But then requests start coming about Hindi. So we had to do it now in both languages. And now when I go to India, I didn't realize that how many centers and so many share beautiful experiences. Day before yesterday, I mentioned about solar energy and people there. And they said that one sister from there wrote that we were talking about you about something and you mentioned our name. We were so happy. So worldwide, this way we remain connected. So we had to do it in Hindi and then English. And now because there was request from Peace of Mind, and they said people looking for something different, and I was a little hesitant and I didn't say yes in the beginning. So no, I want to keep it private, and those who can personally or on Zoom. But they insisted, so now we have in Peace of Mind, Brahma Kumari's channel, and also Godlywood Studio. So we are worldwide family. But I am explaining this. I am really, really very happy that Didi Jayanti is with me and all of us. And of course, celebrate with Avyakti Parivar that we are together worldwide. The Avyakti signal for today is about tolerance. Lot of people, majority, oh, I can't tolerate this. This is too much for me. I can't do it anymore, right? We hear a lot of these words. But then my easy nature, my serene nature, makes it like everything, whatever is happening. Because it's many types of, sacrifice, many types of renunciation, use of our powers and virtues. Every situation is helping us to learn something, to do something, do better. It's always for our progress, always. I remember that I had been in USA over 50 years now. And there are a lot of little things are new to us or suddenly happens. And as Baba said, you don't have to be nervous. I immediately say to those who are together with us, and I say, well, this thing we never dealt with. So it's good now we have to deal with, because in future we will know what to do. So it's just like the way situation arises, immediately there is this whole thought of, yes, Baba is with us, is Baba's task. How beautifully it was described by Mama, that ups and downs, various kinds of situations will come. Is Baba's task of establishment will constantly continue. So we have to remain focused, do what we have to do, and then whatever are the sightseeings, we have to not only watch them, if necessary, we also deal with them without any nervousness or fear. So just look into your life, why and how, if necessary, you don't feel you could tolerate. You find something difficult. Many things happened in our personal lives, settling our karmic accounts, settling through yoga, maybe creating good relationships, but using Baba's remembrance and just be very stable is all drama. And it's always for benefit. Never would happen. Any scene of drama has come to disgrace you or defeat you or make you disheartened. No. Every scene of drama is beneficial. So the homework is, Baba says that go to the depth of go in the depth and attain success. Because no, there is always, we call it, even for breathing, we say shallow breathing, deep breathing, right? So those who had to do lung exercises, they want to make their breathing very deep. Thinking is also reaction shallow. One who has depth will always create a action which becomes a good example for others. So Baba is saying that tolerance, tolerant children can use the power of their tolerance to make those with harsh sanskars and difficult tasks. Baba says, make it cool and easy. Our nature, cool also and easy. Sital, it's a very beautiful quality. Those with the virtue of tolerance will be mature. Those with the virtue of tolerance will be mature and go in the depth of everything. And you come out with a lot of jewels, no, when you go in depth. They will never be, Baba says, afraid. They will go into the depth, and then Baba says, will attain success. Success also is a word which is successful in the task, and but personal success. I managed it, I did it, it went well, everything was easy, no problem. Yes, I don't worry. So these will be the words which will emerge and definitely help others also, inspire others, and make others also think that they can make everything easy also. So churn on that. And for a few moments, I think we will just see the embodiment and then we will hear from Didi Jayanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Didi, Didi, we would like to hear the news of Trinidad and Guyana also. after your sharing.
Om Shanti. In fact, Didi was talking about how every scene in drama is benevolent and beneficial. And so we should never have the thought that why is this happening or why is that happening, but remain very light and easy. And I heard another story about how drama brings unexpected benefits in certain cases. We were going to be applying for general consultative status with UN ECOSOC. This would have been in the mid-90s. And at that time, Sister Gayatri and Didi Mohini were, of course, Didi was the main representative for the Brahma Kumaris there. So they were both in New York, and Gayatri had done the research to know which were the governments who were going to be present when there would be the interview taken for the application. And at that point, she knew that the American government was going to be having a representative there. Their ambassador would be there. And so she had been gone around meeting all the different ambassadors to let them know who the Brahma Kumaris were. And if they had any question, then she would be able to answer them, so that when it was time for the voting and the presentation, then the people who were there, the governments who were there, would have an understanding of who we were and so would support us. And so there are about 18 governments who would be looking at how it has been working and what goes on. So she went to meet the American delegate, and when she spoke to him, he asked her, which country are you from? And she was a bit surprised because people don't usually ask that question. They ask about the organization. They don't just ask about the individual. But then she told him, I'm from Guyana. And he said, I thought so. Well, I want to share something about what had happened and what I witnessed. Some time ago, your building caught fire and the whole building was burnt down. But what was amazing was that within a very short space of time, all of you had come together as a team and had reconstructed the building, and it was very beautifully done. And so I think that that created a deep impact in my mind.
It was built in 3 months. You all came from the study. So ambassador appreciated that no, even government cannot build a building in 3 months, which you all did it.
And so what seemed to be a disaster, anyway, a new building was created, but within 3 months. But people who were observing this had a great impact on them. And so he shared the story. And so after Gayatri Ben had explained various other things, he said to her, well, if you can all create a building in such a short time, then if you say that you're going to create a better world, I believe you. And
then he okayed.
And so, of course,
okayed.
And so if America supports you in your application, then other countries are more likely to support you also. But this was a totally unexpected connection of drama and the benefit of drama and the benevolence of drama. And in fact, it had been a very difficult time at that moment because trying to get everything through we created the international charter, but also getting everything through in terms of how spiritual organizations work and how alaukic political organization work was interesting, because their main concern was that, this is the background of the story, that the main concern was that every country should be autonomous, and it isn't that your headquarters in one particular country should control all the other countries. And so this is what they were looking at. How were we set up as an organization? And we had lots of discussions with the seniors, with the daddies, with the brothers, and they would come up with something, and then we would do a bit of research, and it didn't seem as if it could work. And on the 31st of December, when Baba would come in Madhuban regularly, I was sitting on the stage behind the daddies, and Baba looked around and saw me and beckoned and called me to the front, and then said, "Is the brother here?" And I knew immediately which brother he meant. There's thousands of brothers. But the one brother that had been involved in this particular task with us was Chris Drake. And he was an international lawyer. And so I knew he was there, and he was there in the audience. So we called him up, and he also came up on the stage, and we both sat in front of Baba. And Baba said, if you were to say to them that you're not taking directions from Madhuban, but you're deciding amongst yourselves in your own country, but you're taking blessings from your seniors in Madhuban, would that work? And he gave a big smile, Chris Drake gave a big smile and nodded his head and said, yes, that's fine. So after midnight gong had passed, Baba would stay up for the midnight gong. Then I immediately rushed to the telephone office because we were in Pandav Bhavan and nobody had mobiles, nobody had handsets, nothing. There was only one telephone in Madhuban, and that was in the office. And so I rushed to the office and I phoned Didi. And I told her that Baba has said, yes, go ahead. And this is the answer that Baba has given. And so Didi said, yes, you should go ahead. But whenever the discussion comes up, we'll know the date, then you have to be there in front of Baba so that you can answer if there's any question. And then another thing had happened was around the 7th of January, just about a week later, there was an incident in Tenerife in Spain. And it was a totally wrong story, total misinformation. But there was a woman called Heidi Fitkau, and she was a psychologist, and she was very much part of the Brahma Kumaris.
It's about cult.
Yes.
I went there to meet that lady.
So she'd left the Brahma Kumaris, but there was a newspaper article that had appeared in Tenerife that a group had gone up on the volcano mountain that's there, and they had decided they were going to commit suicide, and they wanted a better world to come, but they felt that there should be some sacrifice. So it was a totally wrong story. But when newspapers get hold of something, they share it. But that day, I got phone calls from Australia, from Brazil. This is what the story is. Have you seen it? Have you heard it? So within a short space of time, I had calls from both ends of the world. And I had to go to Barcelona to meet the people there and the journalists, etc., and explain Heidi was not BK and there was no such plan. And in fact, nothing like that had actually happened at all. And it turned out that it was a lot of misinformation. And Didi also, when she went to Spain, met with the woman who ran the movement that looks into and interrogates cults and so on. So that had just happened. And then when we were called up for the interview that day, when it was coming up in front of the board, Der Spiegel, the German Newsweek magazine, had published this whole misinformation report, not the further information that had come, but this misinformation. And I thought to myself, well, Baba has to do something, because the ambassador would definitely have read the newspaper, the magazine. And well, maybe he hadn't had time, and I hoped he hadn't, but the magazine would surely have reached the embassy. And he was also part of the thing, the representation. But according to drama, America was on our side, Costa Rica was on our side, because Eleanor Detica had done very good service there. So a number of the Indian ambassador was on our side. So Baba made it all happen. And when our application came up, the Polish guy, the judge who was the educator at that point, he said, Brahma Kumaris is the first name on the list. Their name starts with B. And they're requesting a big upgrade from being on the roster to have general consultative status. Does anyone have anything to say? The Indian ambassador gave a very good report. The hospital was up and functioning, and all the others that I've mentioned said, we support, we support. And there wasn't a single question asked. It just went through. Granted, and he hit the gavel with his hammer.
Can you share a little bit about your trip to Guyana?
So, Guyana played a big role in enabling us to get the status, the ECOSOC status that I think at that time we were the only spiritual organization from the East to be given this status. So Guyana's had an important role to play in many, many different ways through the ages. Right, of course, from the beginning with Uncle Steve and Auntie Betty. But now there's been ongoing relationships with the presidents and prime ministers, both in Trinidad and in Guyana. And in Guyana, when they went to the president to say that we're having 50 years celebration and would you like to be part of it? His response was interesting. He said, well, I actually want to host all of you at President's house, the State House. And then they decided that it was going to be nice weather, so we would have it outside on the lawn, so there wouldn't be such a restriction for numbers, because inside there would have been a smaller group. And so that's what happened. He met with us personally, and his 4-year-old son, it was his birthday, and the 4-year-old came trotting into our personal meeting upstairs and wanted to sit on his father's lap, which he did. And he had these big sunglasses on. He'd just come in from the sun. And then he took them off, and maybe because of birthday or whatever, but the president was very warm and giving him a lot of leeway. And then he came and sat beside me and was very interested in listening to what I had to say. And then he went off. And then we walked down to the stage where they had the lawn and whatever. And firstly, the president spoke, and then I spoke, and then we had a Q&A together. I asked him something, he asked me something, and so it went on. And meanwhile, his 2 kids came up, the 4-year-old and the 6-year-old. The 6-year-old was more interested in doing his own things. He came on the stage and then very quickly went off. But the little one first again sat on his father's lap, and then again came and sat beside me. And he stole the show, because everybody was just fascinated by this little boy who had the courage to come up on the stage and sit and then listen. He sat and listened for a long time and then went off. But the president's speech was something BKs could have written for him, because it was nothing but praise about how much BKs have done in the past 50 years, and just amazing. So Baba's found a good mic, certainly for that region, but also maybe it can go beyond that, because during that period while we were still in Guyana, we heard that the Guyanese ambassador to the UN in New York has a woman. She's been accepted as a candidate for the Secretary General. But of course, whenever the elections for that happen, and whatever happens, let's see. But even to get as far as being a candidate to be SG, that's quite something. So little Guyana might be playing another very big role in the future. Let's watch the drama. Baba said the other day, wait and see. So let's wait and see.
Was she there?
No, she wasn't there.
President.
No. But once we got off the stage, the Prime Minister was lined up to shake hands and be introduced. The Bishop of the country was there, and so many ministers that we lost track of who. It was a very, very beautiful meeting. And of course, this particular ambassador, he loves values, he loves morals, he sees that this is the work that the BKs have been doing for so long. He's anyway a very good friend, whatever he does for the future.
In uncle's family, no, they have minister now.
That's right.
So from airport, they take you.
Yes, they
by the express. No, for the minister, they have
police, police escort.
So Jayanti Ben, anyone who goes is taken by them.
Yeah.
A radio station owned by the family member. So every day you can. They like that country should get message regularly from Brahma Kumari. I mean, luckily we don't have many people in the sense of to do all that, but still is going on. The flame is still on.
Oh, it's shining beautifully. So the sustenance that Didi gave in those early days, many of those souls were, of course, still around and had stories to share about Didi and the Dadis visiting Guyana. So many beautiful things. So that was one of the big things that happened. But similarly in Trinidad, at the San Fernando Center, where we have our main center, it's a building that's over 150 years old, which in this part of the world is quite unique. And Baba's house is that house. And so they have a big space where many people can come. And so there was, again, a gathering in which the Prime Minister was supposed to come, but she couldn't make it. And so she sent the Minister of Justice. So he was there, Minister of Finance was there, and of course they know the Brahma Kumaris again for many years, and the service has been going on. There was a meeting with the President there, a woman, a meeting with the Prime Minister, a woman. So it seems it's the year for women. It was, again, very good meetings.
What is your feeling today with this family together?
And today, this family, Mama's Day, beautiful to be here and to be with Didi, because Didi had many years with Mama. I had a few meetings with Mama, but not so many years with Mama. But as a child, meeting Mama, and then in my teenage years again. But the feeling here is Avyakti Parivar has become a worldwide phenomenon. People in Asia, people all over India watch it. And so, yes, it was only a question of time before a Peace of Mind channel would to take it on.
You know, on the left side, you see a group of people. They are in Shantivan, where I stay. We used to do Avyakti Parivar. They continued every morning at 6 o'clock or 5. They gather and they are there. So, yes, Didi Jayanti is looking at all of you. It's congratulations to them that when we were leaving, Sister Bhumi said, why don't you all continue? And they're really doing it. Yeah. Okay, I think we...
So watch the drama. Baba's got more magic happening, and I'm sure that revelation is going to happen very soon.
We got few photos we want to show everyone, and if you can tell us with can you please?
Bhumi has all these kinds of things.
So,
that's the president and myself.
Who is from there? Guyana.
Yes, this is now. As I said, we came from the State House down to the lawn, and they had a big setup there with the screen and everything and the stage. Gayatri Ben was with us, but she got stuck with something, and so she was just behind. So this was the interview with the president and 2 bodyguards in front. You're seeing one here, but another also. You see the little one in the father's lap, big sunglasses, and they both had crocodile tails, and so they're wearing those still. And the president just carried on doing what he needed to do. He had a question about AI and young people. And so we spoke a
This
little
is
bit about
in the
that.
lawn, right? They
And then
already
this is, yeah, and that's the prime minister and the bishop, both of them seated next to each other. I'm sure the others are ministers, but I can't remember who's who. But certainly the prime minister was the first in line to shake hands after the event, and the bishop also. But it was quite a star-filled gathering. And on the plane, the person I was sitting next to said to me, "I'm sorry I didn't make it to your program on Saturday." And I looked at him and he said, "Yes, I'm the Minister of Agriculture and I was supposed to be there." And so he'd been invited, so he hadn't been able to come, but he said, "I had heard very good reports of the event."
So we have just one wish that Jayanti keeps healthy. She's the voice for Baba, so we need you to be, you are strong, I know, but we still want you to be stronger and so that your voice is strong and it has power, but we need it to be more powerful, right?
Well,
That's what we all wish, right?
with your blessings, it'll happen.
Very, very, very good. And so eat well, keep well, and everything, and all our good wishes for you,
Thank you.
for your all, whatever service you have to do. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
A society united by mutual respect, understanding, compassion, and shared purpose. It is about building bridges not only across rivers, but also across communities, cultures, religions, and generations. In this regard, the philosophy of the Brahma Kumaris aligns closely with the aspirations of One Guyana. The teachings of the Brahma Kumaris reminds us that every human being possesses an inherent dignity that transcends race, religion, ethnicity, political affiliation, or social status. They encourage us to see humanity in one another. They encourage us to replace anger with understanding, division with cooperation, and negativity with hope. At the heart of the One Guyana vision is the belief that our diversity is a source of strength rather than division. At the heart of the Brahma Kumaris philosophy is the understanding that we are all connected through our shared humanity and our common spiritual journey. Both perspectives call upon us to rise above narrow interests and to work towards the greater good. That is why spiritual development remains so important in our national journey. When individuals become more peaceful, communities become more harmonious. When communities become more harmonious, nations become stronger. When nations become stronger, humanity moves closer to the peace for which we all yearn. No society can successfully address its challenges through legislations and policies alone.
This is the little one sitting next to Jayanti Didi, as Didi mentioned. Nice. We feel so proud when we hear something like this. Thank you, thank you, thank you to both babies. And yeah, before we close, we'll just read out the essence for the book message today. Like Mama changed knowledge into power and virtues. Mama could go into the depths of knowledge, churning, reflecting, and becoming the embodiment. Mama reminded us time is now short. Everyone should look at themselves. What still do I have to accomplish? Fill the missing percentage and become full and complete. Within the family, let there be love, so there is only unity and harmony. And for the world, reveal the uniqueness of Baba and his teachings through your complete stage, bright, full, and content. So, this was the essence of today's book message. And tomorrow's schedule will follow the same from Amritwela, 3:30 am to 4:45 am in the evening, 5 to 6 English Sakar Murli. And together with that, Awake the Children Murli class, 5 to 5:30 p.m. Okay, we got a good news today. So we have extra lottery. So tomorrow is Thursday. So Jayanti Didi is here with us in Peaceful. So she will be reading Murli in the morning. And definitely a Vikti Parivar will connect to that and also offering bhog because it's Thursday. So double bhog offering triple. I don't know how many